Speyside High School is one of 12 sites around the country that now has a solar panel system, thanks to donations coming out of the European Union's Global Climate Change Alliance Plus, GCCA Plus. The aim is to help countries address climate change challenges, and one way of doing so is by transitioning to renewable energy sources.
In Speyside, the solar panels on the rooftop of this high school will power a science lab and spare us from 6 tons of CO2 emissions annually. It's a good start, and this example must be replicated in other schools, houses, parking lots, hospitals, you name it.
As the student interacts with the solar system, we look forward to the benefits that will meet them directly in the subject areas like environmental science, physics, chemistry, mechanical engineering technology, electrical and electronic technology, our tourism club, environment and 4-H club.
We have to start with these youngsters and give them an opportunity to interact with green technology. And that is what UNDP, with the help of the European Union and the Ministry of Planning, has been able to do for us today. Our youngsters, unlike others in other parts of the region, will be able to actively tell the story of what it means to have part of their class and the class activities being off the grid.
The Mainridge Forest Reserve Orientation Center in Bloody Bay is the other Tobago site enjoying solar power thanks to the GCCA Plus initiative.
The Community Emergency Response Team, or CERT Speyside's headquarters, is nearing completion. This is being made possible by the Japanese Embassy of Trinidad and Tobago and the Tobago House of Assembly. The building will help CERT technicians respond much faster to emergencies in East Tobago.
Tobago, we are at the home stretch. We are very pleased to have the ambassador here with us from Japan, who is taking a view as the progress of this wonderful building. I just pointed out that, this is a historic building in the sense that in the English-speaking Caribbean, it will be the only one of its kind. And I know definitely based on what energies that went into it and the resources that went into it by the Tobago House of Assembly, certainly will be one of the models of what the rest of buildings will look like.
Like Japan, it is very prone to natural disasters such as hurricane, rainfalls, landslides, and so on. Almost all are in Japan. And now I visited this building, simple but very effective. And on behalf of Japan and the people of Japan and the government of Japan, I hope this building and your staff will protect this region.
It's been a while, and I know the people of East Tobago will be happy at this first purpose-built emergency response building that will service the island of the Eastern Tobago.
As the engineers and architects, so it was a Tobago designed project. So we had some good months, some not so good months of construction work, like it's typical with any project. But we're here now, the building is up. We are looking towards a completion of about 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks to bring the project to full completion.
I hope this building and your staff will protect this region. And I hope you could improve your disaster prevention capacities, upgrade it. I hope you can make it.
So, Tobago is about to get lit as we get ready to be the host of the Commonwealth Games. Big things are going down in sport on the island. In preparation, Above Average Fitness partnered with the Trinidad and Tobago Triathlon Federation to host its annual triathlon event, which also served as a qualifier for the 2023 Games.
Triathlon is one of the sports in the Games, and it's great that we're actually at Buku, where the event will happen in August.
Doing this for the second year, I believe this year was more work, but I embraced it because we need more of this in Tobago. Very, very thankful for the help from the Trinidad and Tobago Triathlon Federation and also the help from everyone who came out and even just supported. And we, as we said before, this will be an annual race and we hope to do it bigger and better every year.
I felt pretty good. This Tobago Triathlon is a flat course, so a very fast race, and had fun racing against my competitors.
The swim was a bit choppy and it was a bit hard to see the buoys, so I went off course, but I tried my best. And the ride was good. I really liked the course. However, well, some cars kind of got in the way, so that made it a bit difficult. But the run was really, really nice. It was a very nice course, and the weather was nice.
The race, I would say, was a fantastic event held once again here in Buku Beach, Tobago, and was great to be back, and hopefully they continue on the race for years to come.
It was a bit hot. The swim was a little rougher coming in, so you had to change your stroke a little bit. Then onto ride, it was really smooth. People were courteous, people were motivating. The road itself was relatively very smooth. And then onto ride, it was calm, a little breezy. It's hot moments, but overall it was a really nice course.
Today's event was a successful one. The conditions were great. I came third overall, and I'm pleased with our performance today. For me, this is like the second triathlon I've done within the past year. So, I mean, right now I'm just testing my fitness, and in terms of my overall fitness, I'm pleased with it. And I'm just grateful to come out here and finish healthy and injury-free.
It's the Easter weekend, and apart from the indigenous activities that will take place on the island, there is the Chief Secretary's annual T10 Blast cricket tournament that will also be happening. And the newly elected president of the West Indies Cricket Board met with the hosts of the tournament to pay him a visit. And Tobago was his first stop as president.
Short so far. And driving nicely through the offside.
This tournament is an opportunity to highlight the local talent on the island. It also will give the game here a much-needed boost and to promote a beautiful Tobago. In its third year, the 7-day tournament will be held at the Sid Grace Sporting Complex.
This upcycled plastic bench at Mount Irving Beach facility is made of 50,000 plastic items. Its presence at a Blue Flag pilot beach exemplifies the Blue Flag standard of a sound environmental practice. The bench was manufactured by Flying Tree Environmental Management and the Roxborough Police Youth Club's Upcycling Center.
This initiative, we decided to embark on it because of the pollution that we are having both land and sea, and after we would have collected bottles, we most likely would have been shipping them off to Trinidad or just carry them up at the dump at Studley Park. So looking at that, we needed to expand and extend and try to do our part at a youth organization to help with reducing the waste. So instead of just discarding it, we decided to upcycle it.
This bench symbolizes Tobago's modern thrust when it comes to its relationship with the environment. At the heart of our tourism product is our natural environment and safeguarding the natural environment.
We have been supporting the Blue Flag certification of the boat operators as a very important component for sustainable tourism, for the protection of the environment, and for attracting tourists that are guided by this entire level international standard.
I'm excited to see some of the proposals and concerns being dealt with and put into action and to actually have continuity.
A boat tour on Top Catch charters rounded off this Blue Flag program public awareness venture.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning, morning. Good morning, morning.
Good morning, Tobago, and welcome this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. It's a beautiful Friday morning, and we are really happy to be in your company. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you in Trinidad, those of you in Tobago, those of you viewing us in the Caribbean, and those of you on the live. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will certainly rejoice and be glad in it. I am Rhea Richardson George, and I'll be taking you through this morning. Again, Julian Skeet is not with us. Julian, we trust that wherever you are, that you're having a really great day, that you remain safe. Well, lots of interesting things happening today on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Lots of discussions for us to have. We're talking all Tobago fisher folk. We're talking flying fish, Barbados and Tobago's waters. We'll talk a little bit about that. We're talking a little bit about jazz. So we've got our birthdays coming up on the segment this morning. And we want to thank all of you who are joining us this morning from M&E TV, Gael, YouTube, and Facebook, sharing the live with us every single day. We are who we are because of you. And of course, we're going to be connecting with some of you on the live in just a little bit. But just before we head on into things, we want to chat. In fact, we're going to get some news at this time. We're going to head on over into news in 90 seconds with Candace.
Thank you, Rhea. I am Candace Jackson, and here is your news in 90 seconds for Friday, 14th April 2023. The Buku Village Council apologized to all patrons offended by Tempa's performance at the Buku Goat and Crab races on Tuesday. Many parents and citizens were appalled by the vulgar content of Tempa's lyrics and how she encouraged children to sing along with them. The Buku Village Council said they planned the later activities for the adult audience and expected children to not be in the crowd by the time Tempa was ready to perform. They also stated that the youth on the council was given the responsibility of selecting Tempa for the entertainment because they were trying to increase the youth's participation in the events. Meanwhile, Tobago is getting ready to host some of the events for the Commonwealth Games carded to take place from August 4th to the 11th. Rugby, beach volleyball, indoor basketball, and a triathlon will be held in Tobago. Infrastructure to host all 4 events are being built out at various locations around the island. The events would also see the participation of several hundred foreign athletes and over 1,500 support personnel. They will be housed at the Magdalena Grand Resort, Comfort Inn Suites, and Mount Irving Bay Hotel. And nationally, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced that legislation to allow private citizens and commercial entities to own solar power energy systems would be introduced soon in Parliament. Speaking at a sod-turning ceremony for the 92-megawatt solar site being established at Brechin Castle, Dr. Rowley said they want to reduce the number of people reliant on the national grid for electricity. He also said there would be an opportunity for private citizens and commercial entities to sell any surplus of electricity from their solar systems to TNTech. And that was the news in 90 seconds. It is back to you, Rhea.
Well, thank you so much there, Candace. Your thoughts very quickly on the apology coming out from the Buku Village Council with regards the choice of entertainment for the Buku Crab and Goat Race 2023. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, they did apologize, but at the same time, they sought to throw the youth members of their council under the bus, so to speak, for this whole incident. They would say that they were trying to improve the youth participation in the events.
Well, they certainly got that.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can say that, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, this was, if you are planning an event, especially where you know that children are going to be there, it doesn't matter the time, because like you were saying yesterday, Ria, I mean, a lot of these children were accompanying parents. Right. Some of these children were from the village themselves, I mean, that Easter Tuesday is Buku's harvest. So the children are around. They're going to be around till late, whether we, as some parents, agree with it or not. They are going to be around. I mean, you need to have, there's so many other artists, so many other local artists that would have been able to give a good performance with good enough lyrics, but Tempo was not for that crowd. Tempo was more for something that was geared to adults, like specifically geared to adults, because they said that, they had hoped that by that point in time, all the children would have been gone. But then what was there in place to make sure that the children were no longer there? Like, did they say that children are not supposed to be here for this part of it? No. So, I mean, they say they apologized, but I don't think that they actually really took responsibility for it. So.
Yeah. And Candice, we also saw an apology coming out from Temper as well, yes. Having apologized to the public for the performance. But I'm saying here, this rests on the shoulders of the organizers.
Temper did what she was paid to do.
That's right.
Right? I mean, it did serve as a learning experience for Temper. I mean, she's only an artist that's been around for about a year in the space. She's pretty young. Yeah. She's very young in the business, so this is a learning experience for her. She has not been able to build up her repertoire yet. Her listing of songs and things like that yet to have that kind of variety, right? Like I said, she's still young, so her apology is great, but the onus is still on the Buku Village Council.
Agreed.
They are the ones that hired her, knowing what kind of song she sings.
Agreed. All right, well, Candice, thank you so much for entertaining us this morning.
My pleasure, Ria.
Thank you so much there. And that was the news in 90 seconds with Candice. And I tell you, viewers, we're going to rest that issue. We're going to certainly rest that issue. But again, when we're planning events, we've got to cater to the crowd. And the Buku Crab and Goat Race has always been promoted as a family-type event. So we're thinking family-type entertainment, family-type everything. All right, so I guess, again, a learning experience for 2024. Well, we are going to head on over into our birthdays at this time. We've got birthday celebrations today going out, and we're going to start things off this morning with Linda Jo Field. Happy birthday going out to you today, Linda Jo Field. We trust that you have a great one today from all of us here at Tobago Updates. And we continue on with Rhonda Archie celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday going out to Rhonda Archie from all of us here at Tobago Updates. And this is our girl, Anikwa Lafile, celebrating her birthday. And this is the author of the theme song for Tobago Updates. Good morning, that good morning song that you hear every day. This is our girl, Anikwa, or Kwa, the artist Kwa. Celebrating her birthday. And equal love from all of us here at Tobago Updates. And Marjorie Laura Chadban, and she makes no apologies. I'm free to say this morning that today she celebrates 60 years. Marjorie Laura Chadban, happy birthday going out to you today. And love from my family to you and from all of us here at Tobago Updates. Trust that you have a really great one today. And we've got a little guy here. This is Azim Gonzalez, celebrating a birthday from his mommy, daddy, brothers, sisters, uncles, and auntie. So happy birthday going out to you today, Azim. Trust that you have a really great one and that you do enjoy it. All right. I know we were supposed to have just another one, but we're going to send it just a little bit later on in the program. All right, we're going to send it a little bit later on in the program. So just to tell you viewers what's coming up this morning on the Tobago Updates morning show. And, you know, we're really missing Julian today and this week. And Julian, we're certainly looking forward to having you back with us as soon as possible. So coming up on the program this morning, we will be chatting with Curtis Douglas, the president of the All Tobago Fisher Folk Association. And this morning, the discussion is on the Bajan fishermen in Tobago's waters. And again, our flying fish is on the table of discussion. We're going to be chatting as well with Everton Blender, who's a reggae recording artist, one-on-one with Everton Blender for the Tobago Jazz Festival 2023. And then we are going to be talking about the SHSS, and that's the Signal Hill Secondary School, formerly Signal Hill Senior Comprehensive School Class of 85's Retro Party. And to chat with us, we'll have Ethelyn Spencer Peterkin and Anne-Marie Degazor. They're going to be on the program to chat with us on their upcoming class reunion or their retro party. Yeah, class of 85. That's a little bit before my time, but I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to certainly leave it there. And viewers, that's just about what's coming up on the Tobago Updates morning show for us. So for all of you who are joining us on the live, we say, yes, that is Curtis Douglas there, who is going to be on the program with us. That's Curtis Douglas there, and it's all about the Bajan flying fish. In fact, Bajan fishermen in our Tobago's waters, and that's the topic that's coming up this morning. So for those of you who are joining us on the live this morning, Auntie Dora Lyons, good morning. Good morning to you. Auntie Debbie Gomez out there in Trinidad. Uncle Neil Richardson, he says, hi, Rhea, morning. We are locked on. Uncle Neil and Auntie Anne-Marie, good morning. Good morning. It's good to have you guys on board with us. Myrna Roberts Squashy, good morning to you. Pearl Murray Baird, good morning. Good morning. Julia Brown, good morning to you. It's good to see so many of you up and at it so early in the morning. I know some persons, these are not their hours. Okay, we understand that. But certainly to Uncle Neil and family, we say love going out to you guys this morning. Trust that you're having a really great one today. Well, viewers, that's just about it for us. We're going to head on over right now into our next interview. This is your opportunity, viewers, even as you're connecting with us on M&E TV Gael, Facebook and YouTube, to share the live as we head on over into Tobago Notes.
We have one woman being diagnosed with breast cancer every day as we speak. This is Trinidad and Tobago statistics.
Right.
And we have 2 dying every 3 days.
From breast cancer?
From breast cancer. 1 woman, 1 out of 9 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer.
The grim reality for many families in Trinidad and Tobago. In Tobago, the medical professionals at the Tobago Regional Health Authority's Oncology Unit provide holistic treatment as men, women, and children grapple with new diagnoses and ongoing treatment for cancer. In the commemoration of International Women's Day 2023 and in the spirit of the theme, #EmbraceEquity, the spotlight is on education, especially in the workplace.
May I say to employers, please, when your female employees come to you and say, I'm going to have a pap smear or breast examination, please give them that time to come. Because if they are not well, they can't come to work, right? Family would be losing income.
Yes.
Mothers, children will be losing mothers and so on. So please, I'm in the process of sending out letters to employers to ask them to partner with the TRHA to allow their female employees to have better health by coming to have their screening.
According to head nurse of the oncology unit, Karen Frank, women must learn to prioritize their health.
Your health is your wealth. Without good health, you cannot achieve the numerous amount of things that we women would like to achieve, such as caring for the home, caring for the family, a whole host of things.
The TRHA Oncology Unit is a statutory body under the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection.
Viewers, welcome back, and that was Tobago in Focus. Tobago in Focus. At this time, viewers, we will be chatting with Curtis Douglas, the president of the Tobago Fisherfolk Association, or ATFA, and the All Tobago Fisherfolk Association, ATFA. Yes?
Correct.
Good. But this morning our focus is on the Bajan fishermen in Tobago's waters. Curtis Douglas, good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning to you and good morning to the wider rest of the Caribbean and the world.
Now, this is not the first time that you have been talking with us, chatting with us on this issue. Remind our viewers this morning of what's been happening. Now, there was one point in time when this would have gone to the High Court, yes?
No, we would have went to the High Court with oil companies, energy companies.
Right.
This was BHP Billington.
Right, so not on this issue.
Not on this issue.
But this is not the first time. This is a perennial problem, one would say, where Tobago's the flying fish is the issue, and where the flying fish is operating, the issue between Tobago's waters and the Barbados waters.
Let me
what is happening?
What is happening here? Let us make it very clear before I even start the show, start anything. Barbados have no flying fish. All the flying fish comes from Tobago. All right? This is something they would admit it. I mean, there's no question about it. All right?
So the flying fish is in our waters?
Correct.
Okay.
All right? But what we see has been happening, we start to have some downstream effect in the flying fish industry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for a lot of people who don't know, all right, what happens when the flying fish comes down? The flying fish comes down from like the Orinoco water, bring on the plantains, and the flying fish feed on the plantains. And then when the Bajans come now, they start to give the flying fish lights. So they have bigger boats. So when they go out all 35, 40 miles and they start to get the fish light, it is not hard. They will go where the light is. Light is attracting a device.
Right.
That's why we was making noise with some of the oil companies when they come with their rigs and they give them lights, it draw the fish to them. So we have these Bajan boats catching out these flying fish, and they're catching out by Jova, and we see a lot of wastage is being taking place.
Right.
And more so, the downstream effect that we are having now, we are having processors going into receivership. When last you would have seen a pack of flying fish marked Tobago on it in the supermarket. Bill Brown was well renowned for having flying fish. Mr. Hart who fish out of Buku, he would have been complaining to me for years. And what happened now? Not only that, they are taking away forex from us as well, meaning that we are lost in earnings.
Mm-hmm.
So and more so, people is getting unemployed, right? So when we can't get the flying fish, the Tobagonians can't get the flying fish to do the processing, obviously we can't keep staff because we can't produce, right? And we can't produce, you have to go home. So that creates a more employment struggle on the island. Because one thing we don't want here is for Tobago to start to adapt the type of behavior that we are seeing going on in Trinidad in terms of violence and stuff like that. So we are trying to stop this now. The All Tobago fisherfolk are saying enough is enough, because fishermen been complaining from all over Tobago about this issue, right? And this is something that has been on the burner for years, and we decided enough is enough, and we are not willing to give up our flying fish for gas or oil or anything, because we have to concentrate on food security the way the world is going. When they catch a flying fish here, it is very difficult now to find dolphin and kingfish because they attract these fish, right? This is the reason why you're seeing black-eyed kingfish and some of these stuff. When they're killing out the flying fish, overfishing the flying fish, it is very difficult to catch these fish, right? No, I'm not saying that the Bajan boats are violent or aggressive. They are not. Most of them, we speak to them or whatever. But we have to seek our interests, which is the core of the matter. Is the flying fish is the foundation of all other fish and our survival in this island called Tobago.
Okay, and again we go back to the issue that this is not a new issue. This is not a new problem that we're facing here in Tobago. What has been happening over the years? Is it that the Bajan fishermen are more aggressive in terms of going out there and working? Is it that our fishermen are laid back? Is it that we don't have enough fishermen going out there applying the trade to catch flying fish? Is it that they're getting to the flying fish a lot quicker than we are? What is it?
No, it all stems, I understand, but it all stems, I do not know the arrangement that this government has with the Barbados government. Honestly, I don't know, right? But what I do know is that the Bajan flying fish are catching out our flying fish, and it's very difficult for us to have a sustainable living as we normally do. Now, over the years, it used to have a couple boats, but now we are seeing fleets. We are seeing fleets. I'm not talking about no 10 or 15 Bajan boats. As one go, one comes back in. And sometimes when last month, a Bajan boat come and spend 2 days
in the waters.
2 days. And it was overload. Mind you, one catch from these Bajan boats is something like about 40 to 60,000 US, one flying fish in Barbados. One flying fish is $1 US something, $1 US 50 for one grain. And I'm talking about the pack that you get in Tobago for $30, I'm talking one single flying fish.
One fish.
One fish that is processed and on the market. One is $1 US 50.
Okay, and okay, you mentioned here fleets. They're coming by the fleets.
Yes.
Is it that we are not aggressive enough to go out there and catch on? I'm just asking here. It seems there's no timeline on the sea.
Yeah.
So you can go as a fisherman. You can go just about any time.
No, when people come into your space, you must have rules. You must have rules in order to follow. One, I don't know the agreement. So Tobago fisher folks or flying fisher folks are at a disadvantage. One, we normally use what we call pirogue. We do 99% of pirogue fishing, meaning that we go out and coming back in the morning. Very rare you will find some of fisher folk overnight because we're all looking at the risk. Because at the sea in the night, there's a lot of risk because there are a lot of pirates. There's risk. There's serious life-threatening risk, right? So when we go out and coming back, sometimes we go out and coming back, we ain't catch anything. But when the Bajans and them are there now with the bigger boats, the ice boats, the ice box, they stay, they get the fish light, and a fleet giving it light, pull all the flying fish, and then they could run their nets and pull their nets, and it make it difficult. So we are at a disadvantage. No one had a consultation with ADFA. No one had seen fit to have a discussion, not even with the fisher folks in Tobago. No one has done that. All we are saying is just Bajans come in, catching our fish, and recording the fish in Barbados as Barbados flying fish. Those are Tobago. We don't even have a process whereby we measure how much a boat should be able to take away, right? None of that is in process. And we are saying we need to revisit and rethink that approach. We are saying we want to be able to provide them with the flying fish. They could take it at a reasonable price. And
from us.
But
what sort of regulations do we put in place to have that happen?
Well, to have that happen, first you sign up with the All Tobago Fisher Folk, right? You sign up with the All Tobago Fisher Folk, and we give them the guidelines in which the local fishermen to bring in the fish. So we transport it. So we have everything set up. So no handing of cash. All deposit going to be paid to your account. So when you come, so for example, Palatave is a nice place. You could say, okay, all flying fish will be collected at Palatave. So the Bajan boat is pulled up there, and all fisher folks will be coming now and transferring the fish, weight, measure it, and transfer it, and they could go back to Barbados with the fish. So that is only reasonable, because what it does, it also creates employment for the people of Tobago instead of depending on government, because fishermen are entrepreneurs.
The Division of Food Security under the Tobago House of Assembly, the government, what regulations are in to have this happen?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. That's why we would have wrote to the Prime Minister the day before yesterday. We would have sent the Prime Minister the email. We would have sent in the hard copy through TT Post so that he will be aware of the situation, because I do not know what, at that level, what arrangement was made between the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and the Republic of Barbados. I don't know. He is the only one to be able to give us some kind of clarity and answer in the way forward to this. Hence the reason why we wrote directly to the head of state.
And don't we have a Coast Guard that is supposed to be manning the waters, the waters surrounding Tobago, where these fish are occupying?
Coast Guard really is supposed to man our borders, right?
Borders, yeah.
Right. But in the terms of
isn't this manning our borders? If the Barbados fishermen are coming into our Tobago waters, is not a breach?
Yes, it's a breach. It's a breach. Always CARICOM. It's a breach. But by the end of the day, if Trinidad and Tobago have an arrangement with the Bajans, right? The Coast Guard can't do anything. The Coast Guard cannot run them from our waters. So I'm saying this comes from a high state order. That's why we going directly to the Prime Minister, and also we will be calling also next week we'll be sending off a letter to the Chief Secretary, because they're responsible for 10 nautical miles or whatever, and he's the Chief Secretary of Tobago, so we'll be calling upon him and others.
Question, a viewer on the live is asking, can the fish be grown artificially to grow the fish population? What
happened, it is a very tedious process, because what happened over the years, the older fish folks used to have things like fish pots, so now we have fads. In order for that now, the water have to be at a certain temperature in order for the flying fish to lay. Most time the flying fish come is to lay to reproduce. And if the flying fish are seasoned, they go around in a circle. They come from on top of Charlottesville and come all and disperse and come all around Tobago. So you get from the east and west and come around. And with that, when the flying fish comes, it comes with the dolphin. So it's very tedious to really grow them. That's why flying fish cannot be breed in Trinidad. You cannot catch flying fish in Trinidad waters. Trinidad waters is not clean enough. Tobago have a very clean water so that the flying fish would be able to breed. That's why sometimes you see we have like coconut branch and thing on our fish pot. So we used to give the flying fish the ability to reproduce. But when you're over catching them and they don't have a chance to reproduce, that is the problem. So breeding flying fish is a very tedious thing that will take at least something like about 20 miles or more. 20 miles or more just to create such an environment. But naturally, it will be able to produce once they will be able to lay and stuff like that. They will be able to lay and reproduce.
Now let's talk a little bit about the downturn. I mean, the effects, the lower effects, the effects of not being able to catch the flying fish to the fishermen and the Fisher Folk Association.
Right. Now, as I said, once you're not able to catch the flying fish, it will have a downturn effect for everyone. One, the fisher folk would catch less kingfish, tuna, dolphin, all of this. If the flying fish go, that's it. Tobago, forget tuna, forget dolphin, forget kingfish, forget all of these fish. If the flying fish go, that's the end of it. Hence the reason why we are saying no, enough is enough, and we are putting a stop to it now, because I'm saying in the next 10 years, we will not have any flying fish in Tobago if this should continue at this rate that we are seeing developing in our small island of Tobago. So, one, unemployment gonna rise, right? Unemployment for the vendors who selling dolphin, unemployment for the processors, unemployment for the people who work with the processors, unemployment on the ice factory who provide the ice for fisher folk to go out. All of that will have a downturn effect on the island of Tobago. Now remember, Ria, Tobago is highly concentrated on tourism and fishing. And over the years, government would have come and government would have gone. And no one would have seen fit to invest in the tourism for Tobago or in the fishing industry. We all believe that the oil, the so-called oil and gas that we had, would have lasted forever and everything would be smooth. But when you look at what is taking place around the world now, in the terms of food security, we must be able to protect and to protect our food security, because we don't know what will happen next in this world. So we have to have that conversation with the Prime Minister of Barbados, with the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, to ensure that we meet a reasonable solution in building forward, because the first thing they say is CARICOM. Yes, it's CARICOM. But how much could we give up? How much could we give up?
All right, and very quickly here, even as we're wrapping up, a viewer on the live, Shirley Cook, says, we'll be discussing same every year for the next 50 plus years. Autonomy, good governance, participatory governance.
Yes, Shirley. I mean, I'm not a politician, but
this falls.
Yes, but what happened? I just want to let you know, in the terms of moving forward, the All Tobago Fisher folk are not alone in the terms of that. And yes, there is a point in time right now where Tobago have to fight for autonomy. Because if we do not have that autonomy for Tobago, we will see what is happening and what has been happening over the years. Tobago needs to start to make decisions that will benefit Tobagonians and the employment and the building of our GDP in this country. Tobago, the only way that's going to come is through autonomy. Now, I'm seeing people that sitting around and nobody's talking about it, but that is the only way, one of the only way for it, or we'll continue to just continue to cry and complain and protest. All right? So, surely, that is what is really taking place. We need autonomy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Curtis Douglas, for being on the program with us. We're going to get an update on this, I'm sure, because you've got some letters to send off next week, you said.
Yes, we are sending off some letters next week, and if we do not get amicable response, make no mistake, Rhea, we are going to protest in front of the Bajan Embassy, you know. We ain't playing, you know. This has been going on for too long. Right now, my belt too tight, right? My belt too tight. It's going to bone right now. And fishermen ain't taking no more. We're saying enough is enough. This is a final straw, all right? Hence the reason why we are going down the mature way, where we're sending out the letters to those who are in authority to make sure that Tobago is not a ward of Trinidad and we're not left behind. We want to be at the same level, at the same playing ground, and be able to do the same thing as any other people in this Caribbean.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you again. And like we said, viewers, we're going to certainly be following this this scenario or this issue as it pertains to all of us here in Tobago. All right, again, thank you for being with us this morning, Curtis Douglas. Viewers, lots more coming up this morning on the Tobago Updates morning show. We are chatting when we come back with Everton Blender, a reggae recording artist, and it's one-on-one with Everton Blender for the Tobago Jazz Festival 2023. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
Tobago, it's time to go. Sweet like
Tobago, here's the real deal. Nothing sweeter than when your internet fast all day, every day. I telling you, it's real nice when your home internet and TV package fit your budget. Well, if that's what you want, you're safe with Digicel Plus. Sign up or switch to Digicel Plus now and pay $0 for 1 month. Plus, plans start as low as $199 and you get installed for free. Visit DigicelTT.com or a Digicel store now.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard, I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Never made a fortune. One Accord SDA Church presents Money Management Workshop. Free. April 16th at 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Canaan Bonaccord Community Center. Come learn how to flex and stretch your dollar. How to get more from your same salary or less. Learn stress-free bill payment. Refreshments will be served. Hampers for being on time. Some tools to last a lifetime. One Accord SDA Church Money Management Workshop. April 16th at 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Canaan Bonaccord Community Center.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We are talking one-on-one this morning with Everton Blender for the Tobago Jazz Festival 2023. And Everton Blender is a reggae recording artist. I think we should have on the live even at this time. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning and welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show.
Blessed Lord.
Good morning. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Right. Now, good morning again. Welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. I'm taking a look here at some of your songs, and a lot of persons, they may be familiar with the songs, but maybe not familiar with the face. Reminds our viewers this morning of some of the songs that you would have sung over the years, and some of your albums.
Well, our album Lift Up Your Head. Lift up your head and hold it up high. Get up people's song, blend them. I am a family man. Piece of the blender. Blow your nose. And it goes on and on,
Definitely. And I mean, it's really good to have you on the program with us. Give us a little background information of who you are, where you started, where you're from, because you live in Florida now, but I take it that Florida was not always home.
No, I go and come. I go from Jamaica to Florida. But,
So
Jamaica, I love Jamaica. Jamaica is the place where the vibes is, And, Everton Blender, I would say a spiritual person, I'm not boasting myself and say that I am the best, but, I try to live up full. I try to live up full and right. I try to show the people the liberty, deal with the younger ones, show the younger ones love, the young and the old and the disabled, show them love, no matter who they are. So I always do the right thing. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but, I'm trying my best.
Right. And when did all of this start? When did your singing career start? Did you grow up singing, or was it something that you decided to delve into as an adult? Where did it begin for you?
Well, to tell you the truth, the music chose me now, because I was singing from 6 years of age, going to school when I was 6. And people used to tell my aunt that you can sing, why don't you send him to music school, But they didn't really have that vibes. We say send Everton Blender to music school, or send Everton Williams to music class. They just saying like they wanted to be a doctor. Most of them wanted to be a mechanic. You know what I mean? Most of them wanted to be a carpenter or something like that. Something upful, or like a lawyer. But the music embedded in me. It's an inborn concept. The music embedded in me. The music chose me, because what's going on now in the music, if it wasn't the music to choose me, I would be singing all sorts of different kind of songs, irrigative songs. But the music is a clean thing, so we try to keep it the clean way, So Everton Blender always gonna sing clean music, so that the people the next 25, 50 years from now, the people can get a positive vibration from it. So that's how I do it.
Now, I heard you say Everton Williams earlier on. Is it Williams? Is it Blender? Did you go from Williams to Blender?
Yes. I was singing as Everton Williams. But some people, they see me and they say, Everton, why you singing with your real name, Everton Williams? Find a singing name. So man was saying, like, what kind of singing name? I don't understand you, because I wasn't like in the music to get a singing name. I was just singing because Everton Blender can sing. So them say, no man, sing with a singing name, get a singing name. So I say, all right, well, since me forget a singing name, when they give me a singing name, then some of them say, I can remember some of them say Everton Pliers, some of them say Everton Screwdriver, some of them say, one of them say Everton Toaster. Some say, no, I don't want no toaster, I better want to say Blender. So I come to get the name Everton Blender,
Thank you so much. I mean, I'm loving the history of how you got that name. Now, this is going to be your first time here performing at the Tobago Jazz Festival in 2023. But tell us about some of the places, the events that you would have performed at.
Well, I perform like in I perform Barbados, I perform in Trinidad. A long time now I don't perform in Trinidad. I perform like in Italy, Germany, France, Amsterdam, I perform a lot of different places, Years I don't go to, I perform at a place called Bahamas, but it's a good while now, about 10 years now, or 15 years I don't go to Bahamas. And I've been to Africa, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, Malawi, Gambia, Kenya. I've been to a lot of places, but still yet there are more places for Everton Blender to go.
Yes. Now, you mentioned Africa, and I'm looking at some of the songs. A lot of your songs are, one could say, Afrocentric. What was it like performing in Africa with your music being so rootsy?
Well, the people them love me down there now. The people them love me as a shame. I tell you, say, the first time I've been in in Kenya, the youths them go down on them knee and I kiss my shoes. I'm say, Bridget, not do that, man. Everton Blender is not here for you to bow to him or to serve him like I am the Almighty. I'm not the Almighty. You bow to the Almighty. The man look at me and say, Blender, don't make me rude to you, make me do what I want to do, because you know what your song them do for me. After you know what your song them do for me, just love me here. So I feel just love them, make them do what they want to do, because my song take them out of stress, take them out of poverty, lead them the right way. So trust me, it's a vibes, man. The African people them love me, man. I can remember when I go into a restaurant, there's a lot of people in the restaurant. The restaurant full. It was about 100 and something people in the restaurant. And when I walk in, and the people must say, wow, the great one, the culture one, the defender of the faith. I say, appear nice at the place. Hey, appear nice at the place, man. Yo, me feel like, me feel blush. Because I say, what? So the people them love me, huh? So sometimes you just feel like give up, because sometimes you're not getting the right, what I call it now, the vibes or the accomplishment or things that you're supposed to get from the music. You're not getting it. So sometimes, it just kind of make you feel down. But the people, them revive me forward, because sometimes them write me and them say, Everton Blender, we know you get in a fight, but lift up your head and hold it up high. You know just come long time you're there and the judge's son. You're a family man and start use back my tune them and uplift back my spirit, because sometimes the music is not the way. Sometimes you see the front part of the music very beautiful and nice, but the back part of the music, like the back scene, it's not pretty. But we still here giving thanks and praise, and
Now, what are you looking forward to? Because you're going to be performing here in just about a couple of weeks, about a week. Yeah, just about a week again to go. But you're going to be performing here. And what can persons expect from Everton Blender for 2023?
Well, I'm going to give them good music, I'm going to give them my all, Because long time now I don't perform at Tobago. The last time I was showing Tobago, it was me and Anthony B years ago. And trust me, the place no good again. So this time now, you don't know around. Blender is going to give them new songs that they knew and songs they don't hear before. So Everton Blender is coming there very spiritually with the Almighty, because without the Almighty, nothing can go on. Enough people, them call him Jesus, enough people call him God or whatever you want to call him. But you don't know, Everton Blender is coming in full force. 1,000%, live and living colors, Everton Blender. Coming at you, Tobago.
Certainly looking forward to it. And very quickly here, what inspires or who inspires your music? Who or what inspires your music?
I tell you the truth, when I was a youth growing up, they used to have, in Jamaica, they used to play mostly like foreign songs. That's the sound of the men working on the train. Gang. They used to play most foreign song, but coming up, like I used to listen to like Brooke Benton, Nat King Cole, Ray Charles, and then now you have a singer named by the name of Michael Prophet. You have one named Linval Thompson, Dennis Brown. The Eptones, that Leroy Sibbles, and you have Ken Booth and Delroy Wilson, Alton Ellis. You used to have some good singers, and I used to listen to the roots part of the music, like Michael Prophet and Linval Thompson. I used to love those kind of songs, so these are the people who bring Everton Blender and make Everton Blender. Although it was an inbound concept, I've been singing from a young age, but these are the brethren that I used to listen to. Dennis Brown is one of my favorite, what's his name? Leroy Sibbles, Yeah, Leroy Sibbles, trust me, man. The man, they uplift my spirit when I hear them in the dance,
All right, so Everton Blender, even as we're wrapping up this interview with you this morning, you've got to take us out with something, one of those songs that you're going to be performing this year in Tobago. I don't know which one would be your favorite? Okay. The consensus in the studio is lift up your head. So that's what everybody's asking for here. So can you take us out with it?
Okay. Lift up your head and hold it up, we know that we'll win the prize. Time getting order, still we're striving for better. And we're not gonna stop till the battle is won and we get justice. Cause if you lose your stand, they'll send someone to push you over and over. Lift up your head and hold it up. We know that we'll win the prize. Love you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day today, and we're looking forward to having you here with us in Tobago in just about a week again. So all the best to you, and see you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Okay.
Our pleasure indeed. Thank you so much there. And viewers, that was Everton Blender. Quite an interesting interview. Tobago, certainly looking forward to having him with us. Join us here for the Tobago Jazz Festival 2023. Bet you didn't know that was the guy, huh? Bet you didn't know. All right. Just before we continue on with our interviews this morning and our program this morning, we've got another birthday, a very quick birthday that we got to send out here. If we can check that out really quickly. Yeah, we've got a birthday coming in there, and this birthday greeting is going out to war veteran Iman Legal, who turned 97 years yesterday. 97 looks good on you, Mr. Legal. And this birthday greetings is going out to you from your children, including Daphne, Aldris, and Ellis, and cousin Gail. All right? You look good for 97. My goodness. Happy birthday going out for you, and love from all of us here at Tobago Updates. Well, viewers, I can tell you this much. At this time, we're going to be shaking it up a little bit, and we're going retro style. Yes, viewers, we are going retro style. Even as we chat when we come back from the break this morning with Ethelyn Spencer, Peter Kin, and Anne-Marie Degazo. They represent the Signal Hill Secondary School's class of 85. And I feel as though I got to change the sound of my voice to take you all the way back in time to 1985. For those of you who were not around then, you're certainly going to be getting a taste of it today on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. So they're going to be chatting with us on their retro party. That's the class of 85 retro party coming up just after the break. So viewers, this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
They enjoy for one night, but joy cometh in the morning. And if you lose your soul, there's nothing to gain, it will be over. Lift up your head and hold it up high. We know that we'll win the prize. Lift up your head and hold it up high.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Welcome to L'Image Parfait Day Spa, your urban oasis and wellness center. Our services includes massages, treatments, facials, pedicures, weight management, detox programs, and much more. Call us today at 624-1452 or 720-7474. Trinidad locations and Bonacore, Tobago at 273-7772. Let us treat you like the VIP you are.
October will never be better with Tobago Carnival fever. Book your passage and come on over.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard, I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Never made a fortune. One Accord SDA Church presents Money Management Workshop. Free. April 16th at 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Canaan Bonaccord Community Center. Come learn how to flex and stretch your dollar. How to get more from your same salary or less. Learn stress-free bill payment. Refreshments will be served. Hampers for being on time. Some tools to last a lifetime. One Accord SDA Church Money Management Workshop. April 16th at 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Canaan Bonaccord Community Center.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Viewers, welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. This morning we are chatting with two lovely ladies. We've got Ethelyn Spencer Peterkin. And Ethelyn is the government name, as she says, but you may know her as, may have known her as Carla Spencer back in the 80s. Now Peterkin. She's the marketing director for communications for the Signal Hill Secondary Schools class of 85. And Anne-Marie Dickerson, who's no stranger to us here in Tobago or on Tobago Updates. She's the president of the class reunion group. And this morning, viewers, our focus is on the SHSS Class of 85 Retro Party. Now, viewers, this is back in the days of Boy George and Cyndi Lauper and the platform shoes. And I'm hoping this morning we can catch a shot of Anne-Marie's shoes as well as Carla. And I have to use the name Carla this morning. Carla's shoes, because it was neon colors back then. And you think you've got it going on now. No. This is what we wore. Let me say they wore back in the day. And the neon colors. Ladies, good morning and welcome to.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
It is so good to have you on the program with us. Now let's go. We're going way back in time. Okay, now you know this song One Hop This Time. We're going way back in time to the 80s. What was life like back then for you as compared to now? Now, I see you got on your hoop earrings, your afro, you know. Color, you got your neon colors rocking and stuff. But what was it like for you girls back then?
Well, I think for us at school, it was fun. You know, there were some things that we did that we can't talk about, that it will be considered kind of weird. Maybe some of us might be considered bullies by the definitions of today.
There was no term. That was not the term back then.
it didn't exist. So, you know, that we were fun, we were connected, and I think it's the reason why we're still connected today. We would fight, but you and
But it wasn't
personal
anything-
friends after.
That's right.
So
It wasn't anything like what we see now.
that we are seeing now. So they were the normal developmental stages, and I think that is what stood out for us. We didn't have cell phones, so it means to meet people and talk with your friends. You either do it in school or you find where they live.
And it was planned before, and you stuck to the plan.
And it was planned, or it was okay to just show up.
Right.
Do you understand me? Look at here. You know, I'm going by Carla, and I go, you can't call Carla before. You know, you just show up. And that was okay, you know? So I think those were the things were different. We had conversation. We talked to each other.
We didn't have social media, but not be social.
But we still know everything that was going on.
Yeah, without internet access. In fact, when something happened in Scarborough, by the time you got home,
your parents
they knew.
Yes, so you know you had to behave yourself or know how to cover it up.
I'm gonna put a comma right there. I'm not gonna. Carla, what was it like for you back then?
For me, there was a lot of camaraderie, right? As Annie said, and even like in school with sports, the whole school came out to support the team, right? And that's what it was like. Togetherness, being with each other, and that's what we want to bring back in this retro style party, just bringing people together again.
Now, you are daughter of the soil, but you live abroad now.
Yes.
And you are back home. You came home for this.
Well, my husband told me I needed to be here for this.
Oh.
Yes. He said, this is something I think you should go back for. So yes, I'm here.
All right. And you're certainly happy to be home.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. All right. So tell us, who are some of those persons you guys went to school with? Give us some of those names. So who were those persons that went to
in our year group?
Yeah.
Well, the names you might know, Oscar B, we're calling him out.
Oh.
Lynette Louis.
Leslie
Ann Ellis. Candela. Candela is making waves on the international circuit, I think. But we had some regular people that some of us would know too.
Well, there's nothing regular about me.
You tell her, Carla. You tell her, girl.
You know, so we have Patty. I think the whole of Tobago know Patty. If you know Patty, something wrong. Patty Henry.
Okay.
And
right.
you know Patty?
Yes.
Right, Patty. We have Julian John.
Right.
We have Boxhill Bailey.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's so many.
Carla, you know everybody.
Yeah, but there's so many names to call.
Yeah. What were those teachers who were there around your time? Because, I mean, over the years, teachers would have come and gone. Who was the principal back then in 85? You better call him right.
Mr. Isaac.
Marie.
Isaac.
I am not going to say it.
Mr. Isaac. And who was some of those teachers?
And Phil Taylor was our vice.
Yes.
But those were the days when the teachers had switches. They had whips.
And I want to ask on air, did any of I'm going to look away.
No, I never.
Not at Signal Hill. At Scarborough, I think
under
almost
Mr.
Warner.
I think we all got a touch of Mr.
We all got a
Warner.
touch of Mr. Warner.
Okay, we all got a touch, and ain't nothing wrong with that. We survived. Amen.
Yeah.
We are here today.
We did.
All right. But some of those other teachers who were there, who was
Mr. Dalrymple,
definitely.
Dr. Winford James,
the late Cecil Dalrymple,
yes, Dr. Winford James,
Zelma
Curry, John Anna.
See that John Anna's been around for a long, long time. You don't look it, but he's been around for a long, long time.
Teacher there. Yeah.
All right. So now this retro party that you've got coming up, tell us about it, when it's happening and what persons can expect.
So just want to put it out there that it's not a class reunion, right?
Okay.
It's not the class of 85's party. The class of 85 is presenting this retro party.
Okay.
And we're doing this in order to give back to our alma mater. right? This is taking place on Saturday the 15th, which is tomorrow, at Tipsy Crown Bar. We put 8 o'clock to start. The reason why we tell you 8 o'clock, back in the day, we used to have to get to the party 8 o'clock and be back home by 12 o'clock, right? So there are some persons who might still need to do that. So you all could come 8 o'clock and go back at 12 o'clock, right?
Yes. Now, bearing in mind here that we're no longer 22. My viewers, I'm younger than these ladies are, but we're no longer 22. And there's some persons who are within this era who would need to be back home. Not that they want to, but they would need to be back home.
Right. So we catered for them. Right. And then the 12 onwards is for those who want to stay out until 4 a.m. in the morning.
That's right. Who can afford to.
Who can afford to.
Who are able-bodied to stay out until 4.
Yeah.
All right. And what is there a cost to this?
Tickets are
only $60 per person. Eh?
And that sounds like an 1985 price.
Yeah.
$60 per person. We have couples tickets at $100 if you want to bring somebody. But get your singles, get your groove on. You're going to find somebody to hook up with at the party.
What is Anne-Marie promoting here? She said you're going to find somebody. But mind you, hook up with somebody who's not already hooked up. But if you're hooked up, hook up with who you're supposed to hook up with. Don't hook up with somebody that you ain't supposed to hook up with.
So the 70s was a real free-flowing time. Yes, it was a real free-flowing time. And remember, we're going back to the 60s, 70s, and the 80s.
All the way
so
back.
Come all the way back. And for that moment in time alone, you get to either relive the days or for those who weren't there to experience what it was like.
So what is so good about this retro party, right? As I said, we're raising funds while having fun with people who you would have known back in the 80s, right? It's not just a retro party that's out there that you say, oh, I'm going to that party. This is a party, when you get there, you would see someone you partied with back in the 80s or even like in the late 70s. That's what's so good about this party. And this is a party that we want to brand and have for years to come. This is a party where the class of 85 is calling all those other classes of 46 years of Signal Hill Secondary School to join us on this venture because we want to make it something annually.
Yeah, and not only Signal Hill, I want to add in there, we want to call the Bishopians out there,
let them
the
come
people who
out.
went to Roxborough Sec. I think in our day it was only bishops and Roxborough Sec. So we want to call you out to come join us. In particular, we're sending a challenge out there. And we're having an electric slide challenge competition from year groups, different schools, Signal Hill Secondary School. We're challenging us for bragging rights. We are bringing our team and we expect that we're going to be on the dance floor doing the electric slide, and let's see who can beat us.
I wonder if we played some music this morning for you ladies, if you would be able to dance in those shoes that you got on there, Anne-Marie.
Oh, most certain.
Okay, but very quickly here, a very special hello shout out going to you two ladies, particularly to Ethelyn Carla from Mr. Wood, who was a teacher at Signal Hill. He sent a very special good morning to you ladies this morning because he's looking at the show and he just saw you. So a special good morning to you guys.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
That's right. And that's the thing, no matter where you go, you become adults, you've got children of your own, and you see these teachers and you say, hi, sir. Hi, miss.
Yes.
You still got it going on.
That's
all right. So where
right.
can we purchase those tickets now?
So tickets are available at the venue at Tipsy Bar. They're also available
CNJ,
Minimart, at Crown Point and at Shervan. Right. Or they can contact any member of the class of 85.
And you have numbers at the bottom, and I see you have it up on your screen there.
Yes,
that's right. We got some numbers there, and that's the ticket. That's a shot of the ticket there. And, you know, we say Signal Hill Secondary School now, but back in the day, it was Signal Hill Senior Comprehensive
School.
Or we called it Compre for short, that's right. And I see you're rocking the colors there, the green and yellow.
The neon colors.
Yep.
And you see, we having host of DJs, right? We're gonna have our own Hayden Kerr. That's our resident DJ. That's a class of 85 DJ. Then we're gonna have Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, yes.
Big up to Big Daddy. We also have Foreign Bass coming in.
Okay.
And I just heard we're gonna also have Journey as one of our DJs. So it's gonna be superb. It's gonna be an opportunity for you to reignite those 80s feelings, you know. Rent a tile, hold up on the wall, do your thing, you know.
Brush.
You were telling me about a dance earlier on.
Oh, Fisherman Scant.
Fisherman, could you show us that one real quickly?
Oh, you really have been doing the Fisherman Scant or something like this.
Are we getting a shot at the Anne-Marie? Go ahead.
Well, you have to kind of throw it out there.
You know, like you're fishing.
That's right.
Yeah.
What music? What was that dance for?
Well, there was an actual song, The Fisherman Scant, The Fisherman Scant, and you did that. Yeah. That's in the 70s.
Oh, okay. That's before my time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we said, it was back in the days of Boy George and the Cyndi Lauper. And as we're wrapping things up here, what was your song back then? What was your flick? What was your hit, your flick here? What was it?
I'm 16 and she's a bulletin girl. A bulletin.
I don't know that one.
You don't know that one?
That's before my time. I'm younger than you girls. But Carla, what was your song? What was your song?
I had a lot, but the one that can come to mind is Gloria, Gloria. I think you better slow down, Gloria. That's the one that comes to mind.
Okay, I think they should have been up dancing on, dancing this morning, certainly. All right. But we're going to leave it right there. And my director is saying that, oh yeah, we got the electric slide to play, and maybe they're gonna get up. We want to see Anne-Marie dance in those shoes. If you want to, purchase those tickets, you're gonna purchase a ticket if you see Anne-Marie dance in those shoes this morning on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. So we're wrapping things up. We got GMT coming up. So don't go anywhere. You still got to share the live this morning because Candace is coming up on GMT. So ladies, thank you for being with us. Even as the music plays, Anne-Marie and Carla are going to be dancing.
No electricity in my slide.
No electricity in Carla's slide. She says, but Anne-Marie's going to be taking us out this morning. And it's all happening. That's right. There we go. That retro party. Go, Annie. Go, Annie. Woo. I'm gonna move my feet off. She's doing it in those shoes. She's doing it in the shoes.
The house is like 2 bedrooms, a toilet, the room, kitchen. The size is like 11 by 10, bathroom like normal concept, double living room, full dining room here. I say completion on this building, so it will be about 2 weeks then max. We're doing a cladding on the outside, the inside is a fire rating board, gypsum ceiling, right? And well, normal tiles and stuff on the ground.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Tobago, it's time to go.
Geld in die eigene
Sweet like Tobago.
Tobago, yo, here's the real deal. Nothing sweeter than when your internet fast all day, every day. I telling you, it's real nice when your home internet and TV package fit your budget. Well, if that's what you want, you're safe with Digicel Plus. Sign up or switch to Digicel Plus now and pay $0 for 1 month. Plus, plans start as low as $199 and you get installed for free. Visit DigicelTT.com or a Digicel store now.
Sunday, April 23rd, the parade grounds at the Dwight York Stadium will transform for International Night, featuring Grammy Award winners, Boys to Men, and Cuffy.
Where will we go?
Also gracing the stage, Vonette Bigford, Saron Shaw, Tony Paul, Sharon Phillips, and much more. Get your tickets now. Check the Tobago Festivals Commission's website at www.tobagofestivalscommission.com for more, or call them at 639-4441. Come enjoy Tobago Jazz Experience 2023, The Return, much more than music.
Tapicom. Welcome to the future. The only card you will need in a new world. Digital business cards. Safe, hassle-free. The future is here. Tapicom. New generation digital transfer. Digital time clock cards. Digital attendance cards. Air tags. Customized designs. Digital clothing tags. Digital pet tags. Tapicom. The future is here. Contact us today.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard, I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine, I am Candace Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. The Buku Village Council apologized to all patrons offended by Tempa's performance at the Buku Goat and Crab races on Tuesday. Many parents and citizens were appalled by the vulgar content of Tempa's lyrics and how she encouraged the children to sing along with them. The Buku Village Council said they planned the later activities for the adult audience and expected children to not be in the crowd by the time Tempa was ready to perform. They also stated that the youth on the council was given the responsibility of selecting Tempa for the entertainment because they were trying to increase the youth's participation in the event. Meanwhile, Tobago is getting ready to host some of the events for the Commonwealth Games carded to take place from August 4th to the 11th. Rugby, beach football, beach volleyball, indoor basketball, and a triathlon would be held in Tobago. Infrastructure to host all 4 events are being built out at various locations around the island. The events would also see the participation of several hundred foreign athletes and over 1,500 support personnel. They will be housed at the Magdalena Grand Resort, Comfort Inn Suite, and Mount Irving Bay Hotel. And nationally, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced that the legislation to allow private citizens and commercial entities to own solar-powered energy systems would be introduced soon in Parliament. Speaking at the sod-turning ceremony for the 92-megawatt solar site to be established at Brechin Castle, Dr. Rowley said they want to reduce the number of people reliant on the national grid for electricity. He also said there would be an opportunity for private citizens and commercial entities to sell any surplus of electricity from their solar systems to TNTAC. And that was your news in 90 seconds. And well, viewers, we've got a whole lot to be speaking about this morning, but I also want to start off a little bit with some updates on the ferry. Well, if you're not aware, there were some challenges with the ferry. Yesterday, we had the Buku Reef ferry being experiencing some technical difficulties, in the words of the Port Authority, on its way from Scarborough to Port of Spain last evening. So, the vessel took about 6 hours to get to Trinidad. We're not entirely sure what these technical issues were, but, for those of you who are hoping to go down on the Buku Reef, it would be leaving Port of Spain, it will be leaving Port of Spain at 10 a.m. this morning. There was also a delay for the APT James heading down to Trinidad because that was scheduled to leave at 6:30 this morning. However, even though their vehicles were boarding from as early as 5:30 this morning, the vessel did not leave until 7:24. As far as I am aware. So that is behind schedule. I am not entirely sure how the delay in the APT James leaving Scarborough this morning would affect the sailing later on from Port of Spain later on this afternoon. But I guess that's something that we need to pay attention to. If you are supposed to be sailing, I guess try to lock on to the Port Authority to see what's going on. Two vessels having some issues doesn't seem right there. We are not supposed to be having those issues now because we have 2 brand new specially built vessels for the sea bridge. So we were hoping that these issues would be a thing of the past, but unfortunately it seems to be continuing. And when we were supposed to have the TNT Spirit to be helping us out, when in times where, when a vessel needs to go into dry dock or whatever, it seems as though that vessel is on dry dock itself and has been on dry dock for a great period of time. So we can't depend on that. So we're going to see what's happening with the ferries. We really hope that this is not a repeat of 2017. We don't want to go down that road again. We saw what happened because our businesses here in Tobago really suffered. Our tourism product really suffered when the sea bridge collapsed back in 2017, and businesses still actually have not recovered. Many businesses in Tobago went into the pandemic still trying to recover from what happened because of the sea bridge issue, and of course the pandemic just further put a nail in the coffin for some business persons. So let's hope we don't go down that road again. But yes, so viewers, we've had a lot of things happening within our space. There's been so much talk about what happened on Tuesday with the Buku goat and crab races. In fact, the Buku goat and crab races has been generating some conversation over the past couple weeks, and this is your opportunity this morning to, lend your voice. So, because we are going to be opening our lines this morning so that you can, give your opinions on what happened. Of course, one of the major issues was that of of Tempa's performance at the Buku Goat and Crab races on Tuesday night. Now, you would have seen the apology, but just in case that you haven't seen the apology from the Buku Village Council, let me just see if I could pull that up for you right here. So just so that you have, in case you have not been able to see this as yet, this is how it reads. The Buku Village Council takes full responsibility and wishes to apologize to all who would have taken offense with the main entertainment section of our recently concluded event. The council took the necessary steps in cautioning the entertainers to use as to the use of obscene language during their performances, advertising who the entertainment would have been, and brought the main act later in the night, and night is in capital letters, as to give persons, especially parents of younger children, the opportunity to plan what aspects of the events that they want to take part in. Over the years, our data indicated that youth participation and engagement was on a sharp decline as it pertains to the festival. Additionally, data indicated that parents with younger children exited the event by 9:30 p.m. As such, the council gave our youth committee the opportunity to contribute in planning of this event and allowed them to give ideas and suggestions in making it more inclusive. This resulted in an incident-free event with the largest attendance in over a decade. Notwithstanding the aforementioned, the council has taken into consideration the views expressed by some persons, and this would be used to guide planning of future events. The council wishes to thank our hard-working executive and members, sponsors, and everyone who supported our festival this year, as we look forward to your continued support as we work together in making this island the greatest island on the planet. So that was the response from the Buku Village Council regarding that. Now, Tempa also issued an apology herself because, you know, of course, she is a young artist, somebody who's only been on the scene for about a year. She established herself on TikTok, that social media platform, and which is, you know, what a lot of children have been tuning into and paying attention to. So, you know, that's how a lot of children knew some of our songs and were able to sing along to lyrics that were, you know, less than pleasing to the adults, you know. But I just, you know, while, I mean, it's good, we're good and we're happy that, you know, Tempa apologized, but at the end of the day, Tempa still, you know, was able to perform what she did to do, what she was hired to do. She was hired to perform her hits, well, and she did that. You know, however, the Buku Village Council should have known, you know, even though they said that they gave the young people a chance to select artists that would draw a crowd, they still had they still needed to make sure that the people that they were hiring, the songs that they were going to be singing, was something that was wholesome, because no matter what, the goat and crab races are always going to be a family event, no matter what time it ends. There's always going to be children around, because it is also part of the community's harvest celebrations. You know, many of the children that were there were children from the community itself, so whose parents were either working at the event or, you know, all of these things. So no matter, I mean, saying that, you know, having this act later on in the night when they expected all the children to be gone, it's a poor excuse, because there's no way to say that, I mean, there was no, did they say that all children should leave the venue at a certain point in time? So, you know, all of these things are to be considered. At the end of the day, it all stops with the Buku Village Council. These acts need to be vetted before they are hired, before before they are advertised. There was also the talk out there. And viewers, you know, please feel free to call in at any point in time and give your opinions on this matter. The numbers are on the screen: 284-6597 and 356-8833. So, you know, you could give, you know, you could call in and add your voice to the matter. Oh, and apparently we have a call. Good morning and welcome to you. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. My name is Winston Dillon from Signal Hill, but I grew up in Buku Point.
Good to hear from you. Good morning.
Good morning. Can I speak?
Yes, go ahead.
We who have come from the past still have opinions for what is happening or should happen in Buku. I had people who came from Trinidad with their children to view goat praise as well as to, revisit family. And one of the negatives they pointed out at Buku is that beautiful environment, but people come with their cars and they open their trunks and they blasting music in between the trees down on the bay.
Yes,
The
I know
problem
that's a
with
concern.
the problem with that is not only the blasting of music, but you have the same story as you had in the night, where people are free to play music that has all the stories of we move from Y now to F and whatever else. And there are children on the beach as well. So I'm saying that the word is control, and people say they don't like control, but I say that we must be, what do you call it, to the environment. We must be more sensitive.
Yes.
The loud music affects all the fauna in Buku. And then when you have the goat race thing there, say that because it's night, you could bring in the story now. You are not doing good to the Buku's past people, those who began the thing, began it with we didn't have any harvest, so they say Buku goat race, replace harvest, but harvest come from church. So we can keep it down and make sure that we the old, are hearing something that is mellow, and let people who want to come know that it is mellowness.
Yes.
It is, So I thank you for allowing me.
Thank you so much for your opinion. And, you do raise some points because, some of our laws actually still have obscene language as listed as a criminal offense. You can still be charged for that. There are some questions about where was the police on that night and why didn't the police not step in? Because, I've been to events, I've been to jazz where, we had international acts using profanity on stage as part of their songs and part of their lyrics and so on. And the police were almost ready to go and shut them down from on stage. But why did the police not step in there? And, as you are blasting your music, when you're in an open space, because let's not mix matters, that area is an open space. You can't be using that language. I know that the release said that they warned the artist here not to use certain types of language in their songs. However, their songs were very crude in nature. And there is a space for Tempest music, but it's not at an open air event like this, which is so central to the village, which is a community event. Let's not get away from the fact it's a community event. There are spaces where temper can be and where her music can be appreciated, and it can be played for the right audiences, but it is not at a community event. There's no getting around it. I know that certain children should not have been around at that point in time. There is that argument too. But again, many of these children were accompanying parents that may have been working at that event or who may have been doing something related to the community activities. So, you can't get away from it. And that's a very poor excuse to say that the children should have been gone by that point in time when he did make an effort to make sure that they're gone, and when it is, at the heart of it, it is a community event. Now, this release also spoke to the fact that there was more people present, there was more patrons there in over a decade. Now, that's good. But how did we receive profit from it? Because let's just be real. The Buku Village Council has been dependent solely on the THA and sponsorship from corporate to make sure that this event happens every year. We this was their 95th edition, and I say that cautiously because we had Nkosi Phillips, the political leader of Unity of the People, speaking to it might be older than that. We might be older than that. It might be about 98 years old. We're closer to 100 years. But whatever the case, the point is this festival has been around for over 90 years. Why is it completely dependent on sponsorship from both the THA and corporate at this point in time? Now, you're boasting that it had that many people there. What's the profit like? Is that money going to be used to make sure we can put on the event next year with less sponsorship? Because let's be real, a lot of these things, especially where the Buku goat and crab races, it should not be at a place where we're dependent on sponsorship. There should be some way that it's sustaining itself. Again, it's been around for over 90 years. Facility was built for this by the THA. It was not built by the Buku Village Council, it was built by the THA. And the Buku Village Council has the ability to manage it. How are they monetizing these things? You have a festival that's been around for almost 100 years. How are we branding this? How are we making money from the people that go to this event? And I'm not just talking about, charging the vendors and all the people that get in there to make it what it is. Because, and if you've ever traveled, if you've ever been to places where you've had events that have been around for this long, the branding for it is so big. There's so many ways to make money from the patrons so that you're not dependent on sponsorship. So, when we talk about success of these events, are we just talking about the amount of people that came in to your gates? How do we value this success? How do we value, whether or not the event did well? Where is the profits? Did we make any profits from the Buku goat and crab races? And then there is, that talk about, whether or not it should remain in the hands of the Buku Village Council, because again, they've been managing this for so long and they can't seem to make it a money-making venture. Because every year they're dependent on the THA and they have to be dependent on corporate to pull them out. So we need to have some serious conversations. When we think about Tobago, goat and crab racing is so much comes out at the top of our of what Tobago is known for. Yet how are we monetizing this? Those are some serious questions to ask. And then we need the Buku Village Council to also account for how that money has been spent over the years, because they've received millions and millions of dollars to make sure this event came off. But yet, where did that money go? How did we ensure that there was some profits coming in? Who benefited? Who really benefited from the hosted of the Buku goat and crab racing over the years? Is it just a few, or did the money trickle down to the community? How is the Buku Village Council ensuring that the community, the various groups in the community benefit, or even residents benefit from this? These are all questions that we really need to ask, because when we talk about tourism, when we talk about marketing Tobago, all of these things matter. Why is it that after so many years, we can only have goat and crab racing on Easter? Why is it not like why does it not happen on a smaller scale throughout the year? Because when it comes to like horse racing and things like that, which is what is essentially how this whole thing started. It was a way for our local people to have their own version of horse racing, because back in the day, only people of a certain class were allowed to be around and participate and be part of that. But when you look at a horse racing and things, there are events leading up to their major event. How is all of these things happening? Okay, so we have another caller online. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Candice.
Good morning.
I just tuned in. This is the guy who from Tobago was living in Trinidad for the longest while. I spoke to you sometime already.
Great.
Good
Great to have
program
you.
Yeah, good program as usual. Yes, you're on point with what you're saying. The goat and crab, I've been attending that since I was a little child. As a matter of fact, I was a little child, and I'd been lost in the crowd when I was about like 7 years. That was my first goat race experience. You know? But what I'm saying, over the years, look how long that has been, because I'm 63 now. I'm 63 now. So that's a long time ago, goat and crab has been going on. But now that they had this new, something like the complex there,
yes.
You know, there's a lot of work, and I appreciate that. But it should be operational. It should be something like to make a profit, like Carnival. The government can't be just giving out this incentive. Well, in the case of Tobago, the House of Assembly, giving out all this money and nothing coming back, you know, to the tourism and to the person on the ground who's selling. And it must be a profit-making event. You're supposed to just not have the crab and goat, but cultural event. You know, have a cultural show also, and export what Tobago have to offer. Have people selling little crafts and so on. But the basic thing, you have a cover fee to go in, and the patriots must be satisfied with what they see and what they pay for, and they must get back something. It must be profitable. Not every year the council assembly giving this money, and you know, it's not accountable. As you say, we don't know how much money they make. We don't know how much profit they make.
Millions of dollars. Millions and millions of dollars been given to the Buku Village Council over the years. But where has the money gone?
Right, no accountability. So we need something proper to put in place. Good program, I look at the program almost every day.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you. We certainly appreciate your support.
Yeah, when I come to Tobago, I'll come and look for you.
No problem at all.
You did a good job. I see you riding that kind of cart yesterday at yesterday's show. In the call, some area when you were doing an interview, you were riding this cart.
Yes.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much. And yes, whenever we talk about making money, you know, like from the patrons that enter the gates, I'm talking about, you know, just simple things like T-shirts and keychains and all those other trinkets. You know, are we making sure that we're selling these to the people that come? You know, how cool it is. You're visiting this place. There's nowhere else in the world that does goat and crab racing. And you could, you know, buy your little things to take back to say, yes, I was there. Are we doing these things? And it's not rocket science. I mean, it is not hard to make this a reality. This is, you don't need to study, you don't need to have those major degrees and all those things to know that these are the ways that you make money from the people that enter your gates. But yet we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that at all. I've been to events that in different places around the world where, and this is why people need to travel, you need to go to places around the world where you have events that are almost 100 years old. When you go to these events, like the branding is so shoved down your throat, like you can't not spend your money and buy all these extra things. They make it so attractive to the persons that come in. So yes, you may pay a small fee to enter the gate, but the money keeps being generated as long as the person stays at the event. There's so many ways to make money from the people that you know enter your gates. And it's like I said, it's not rocket science. But yet the Buku Village Council refuses to do these things and continues to just sit down and wait on the THA and cooperate every year and complains. They complain when they don't get enough money, because they were complaining this year that they didn't get the amount of money that they asked for. And I mean, yes, we know that COVID-19 was a concern and there was some issue. I mean, it affected everybody economically and so on. But there should always be that amount of money that's already there in their treasuries to make sure that they can make their money, or they can continue to host the events without having any will have to be totally dependent on the THA and corporate to give them money. So yeah, these are some things to consider as we talk about events. I mean, and this of course is not just for the Buku Village Council, but it's for a whole lot of things as well. So viewers are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be continuing with our conversations.
The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor. Do more, live more. Do more, live more.
This is how it's gonna go. them once again. They better look out below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look out below, 'cause this is your show.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
October will never be better with Tobago Carnival fever. Book your passage and come on over.
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Yes, viewers, so yeah, we were getting into some conversations before we went to that break about what's been going on at the Buku Village Council. And but we're switching gears now to another issue that's kind of been in the space. And that's what's been going on with the demerit system and our, we've had some let's say some talk within the space about the amount of licensing officers that's in Tobago, and a lot of people getting tickets and receiving demerit points on their licenses and so on for infractions, whether it's for their vehicle or whether it's traffic offenses. So we are speaking this morning with Sergeant Brent Batson about just some of those issues and some of those questions that you guys might have. So good morning and welcome to you, sir. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having us. Appreciate that.
Now I want to start off by I actually having you clarify. People like to say that the licensing officers are against people, or they just want to punish poor people, and some of these rules are not they don't make any sense. So I want to start off there.
All right, sure. All right. So well, first of all, it's not just a licensing gets that, right? We get it too when we enforce any laws from the police standpoint. So there is a contingent, as you correctly said, of licensing officers here from Trinidad, but being led by the Transport Commissioner himself, Clive Clark. We are here to support that initiative from Traffic and Highway Patrol Branch, and Commissioner Christopher has road safety as one of her strategic goals under public safety. That being said, Tobago has a 300% increase in road traffic deaths for the year. And that's a serious risk problem that we cannot allow to continue. The behaviors that surround it, though, are things that are very preventable. If people wore a seatbelt, if people didn't drink and drive. If people would obey the speed limit, they may be alive today. So we're here to do two parts. One is educate, because a lot of people, we realize, don't seem to understand the ramifications of getting these demerit points. And two, to enforce. But my goal, I've always been a champion of educate. I would say before you start a crack ticket, let's just make sure people understand their roles and functions and the responsibilities of holding that driver's permit or license to begin with. So we'll be giving out literature. It'll be across the island, and I want everybody to be clear. When we say across the island, we don't mean Crown Point or Scarborough. So that's just a heads up how the blankets are going to be spread across. And our goal, like I said, is to help transfer knowledge, as well as if we see certain infractions that we're going to deal with it.
All right, so let me start with some of the traffic offenses that, well, I should say no, let's start with vehicle offenses, where people are not necessarily knowledgeable about, you know, because I know that there are some of those laws, and then people wait. That is what they're giving me a ticket for.
Well, yes, so, that is true. That is, in fact.
So give me an idea of some of those things that people are not really aware of, so that our viewing public can just know that some of the things that they need to make sure that their vehicles are in place for.
I agree with you. So first of all, you know, everybody started to get a little panic. The moratorium on expired driver's permits and certificates ended the 1st of January 2023. So what does that mean? There's no bly anymore if you do not have your valid driver's permit, and there's no bly if you do not have a vehicle that's up to inspection standards, right? If you must have your inspection sticker and stuff like that. And that's really targeting vehicle roadworthiness, right? But it's also a very serious standard. Now, I know the Transport Commission has asked that we sort of do soft enforcement on it to educate people. Look, that moratorium has ended. Please go and get your vehicle inspected. Why? Because the ramifications is up to $1,000 and a whopping 60 merit points. So let me just touch on that as you originally asked.
I mean, just stick a pin there, because I mean, we have a concern here in Tobago where we don't even have that many places to go to inspect. So we also have that challenge here in Tobago.
Yeah. And that's probably why the softer side on that part
and that's why a lot of people have not gone.
Yeah. I hear you on that. Unfortunately, once it became enforceable, though, it's fully up to that officer's discretion there and then. And under this amendment to the Road Traffic Act, you have a threshold to which you can lose your license, right? So demerit points target driver recidivism. Once you're a repeat offender, under the previous ticket system, you could just go pay a ticket and normal, and you just continue driving however you want. With this now, there are serious ramifications for accruing tickets, because a lot of these violations carry these points. And as you said, if you reach the magic number, and I just want to be clear to everybody, once you have 10 demerit points, you'll be disqualified from driving.
For how long?
Right, so that varies. It varies on how much points you accumulated. So if you have 10 to 13, you'll be disqualified for 6 months. 14 to 19, you'll be disqualified for 1 year. And 20 or more will be a 2-year disqualification. So persons have to really think about how much their driver's permit means to them. The amendment, to me, what it showed was, one, it brought the power back to the state to take back certain things. You don't own that driver's permit. The state owns it. So they're going to take it back. And that vehicle, fancy vehicle that you bought, that registration plate attached to it, that belongs to the state too. They're going to take it back. So they're very serious about collecting the revenue for the tickets accrued. I came from a program where a person was saying how they were told that if they pay the ticket, they don't get the point. It doesn't work like that. Whether or not you pay a ticket or you don't pay a ticket, the points are yours. You're going to get it.
And then there are also consequences for not paying the ticket. I think that adds to more points that are removed from you.
Yeah, so on the amendment, you have 30 days to pay.
Yes.
Once you don't pay, two things happen. One is the points hit. That is what I want you to understand. No matter what, your points are coming on that license. And the second thing happens is a fine escalation. First of 25%. So, for example, if you didn't wear a seatbelt, it was a $1,000 ticket and 40 merit points. You you didn't pay it in 14 days. After the 30 days passed, it went up to 1,250. And if you didn't pay it 14 days after that, it went up to 1,500. And then, and this is what we're here to explain, if you still don't pay it, there's no warrant. You know, back in the day, people didn't pay a ticket. They say, oh, the police coming home with a warrant. No, they decriminalize the whole process. Because when you get locked up, the government didn't get any money.
Yeah.
And that's what they want. All right, so what happens now is they will lock you out of the licensing database, and you will not be able to do any transactions. And this is important. You can't renew your permit, you can't transfer it, you can't even inspect the vehicle until that permit, that outstanding ticket is paid.
Yes.
Now here are the ramifications, ma'am. Your cousin borrowed your car, got a ticket, didn't tell you, and didn't pay it. You went to inspect your car and they say, well, there's an outstanding ticket. You say, I didn't get any ticket. No. There was a ticket attached to the vehicle. So even though you didn't get the ticket yourself, the non-payment associated with the vehicle registration also is tied into the process.
But some people might say that that's not fair.
Okay, that's between you and the state. Too late.
I guess that's
It's the truth.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how it's set up. So we're here to educate people more
Sure,
on those.
certainly.
Yeah, you know.
I have a question when it comes to your permit. So now, of course, you are supposed to have your permit on you at all times. What if, for some reason, we say you didn't grab your wallet, or maybe it was in the wrong wallet, or in the wrong person, in the case of women,
happens, yeah.
and you have your permit on your phone. Would that be accepted by the officers?
All right. So just like with everything we have that legal area called discretion, right? With the digital ticketing systems now, once you produce that picture of that permit, I can verify that you are a license holder.
Okay.
So that helps me not have to move forward on the other things I would have to move forward with. Our concern is whether or not you are a license holder, because if not, you'll be arrested. That's one of the most serious offenses in the Road Traffic Act. Yeah. So if you have a picture of it and we have the devices, great. If not, we will call our command center to try and pull information from licensing database to try and verify that you are who you are and you're the holder of a driver's permit. So it's still an offense though, because if you fail to produce it to me. So later on, they may warn you of prosecution and proceed by summons to answer that charge. But we at least know that we're not going to arrest you because you have been issued a permit. Yeah?
Yes. What are some of the offenses, vehicular offenses, that are lesser known within the space? Of course, because everybody knows you have to wear your seatbelt, your lights need to be working, your brakes need to be working, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But what are some of those other things that people are not generally aware of?
Well, unfortunately, the top 5 ticketed offenses, and with the digital platform now, we can, whereas before we used to manually pull all this information, a click of a mouse tells us behaviors, and the first thing is still seatbelt use. The number seatbelt, now, this is the disappointing part, and I'm glad you're raising this in this space. Under the amendment to the Road Traffic Act, you, the driver, and I want to be clear to persons listening, you, the driver, are responsible for your passenger wearing their seatbelt, or you will collect the ticket for them. We don't care if the driver doesn't have a permit, if they have ID, or that's his business. It doesn't matter. The law puts the responsibility on you. So a lot of persons are getting tickets for their passengers not wearing their seatbelt. So if you're a PH driver, I mean, that's a separate issue by itself. But what I'm saying is that please ensure that your passengers are buckled in. We also have traffic sign violations continue to be a big issue, where people driving up no entries on one way, say they didn't see the sign, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., whatever it is. And then, of course, speeding. Part of what we're doing while we're here is we'll be doing numerous speed exercises. So I'm appealing to all your listeners, pay attention to your speedometer, because the prices of those fines range from $1,000 to $3,000.
And how many demerit points?
Up to 6 demerit points if you're going excess of 30 over that speed limit. So, when you look at a lot of the crashes, the speed is one of the main contributing factors. And it's one of the areas that we really try to go down on. And you know, we're also going to be distributing a lot of hand. I'm leaving this with you as well.
Certainly.
So you can, you know, have different discussions in the morning.
Thank you, yes.
So it has all the demerit points and Arrive Alive, the road safety NGO, and you can give little pedestrian safety tips.
Yes.
So all this will
And
be
these are going to be given out to drivers on the road as well.
on the road traffic. But again, I'm warning drivers, there's certain things we may not give blights to when we see them.
What are those things?
One of them is seatbelts.
Yes.
Without a doubt, there's no way by now people are not aware that this is the law. And the sad thing, ma'am, is that persons will drive out the gas station and then drive into the roadblock without the seatbelt. And then you say, well, I'm now going to put it on. No. The time to put it on done pass. You're in front of me now, so this will help remind you to put it on, unfortunately. So I always remind persons, just remember these three things. Sit, click, drive.
Yes.
Once you follow those three procedures, good to go.
Yeah. And you know, the funny thing is that when it comes to seat belts, when you're traveling, when you're outside, you don't think twice about it.
It's true.
You know you have to do it.
It's true.
But for some reason, when you're here, you know, when you're in Trinidad and Tobago, you know, feel like anything goes. You don't need the seat belt, you know.
And then we're the ones who have to pull the bodies off the ground because a person cut a hole straight through a windscreen. And when you look at the car, the occupant compartment, it's still intact. So had they still be restrained in that seat, they would be alive right now. And so it's the little things that make a difference. So when you see us out there doing our job, it's public safety, injury and harm reduction on the roads. That's our goal.
Now, is there any tickets or offenses for driving too slow on the road?
Right. So, well, again, there's obstruction of traffic, right? Willful obstruction of traffic. And it's not something we go down the road because, like I said, I always tell people, even if you did a little defensive driving course, the speed limits are set to drive the maximum speed once conditions are good. So if it's 80, you try to drive the 80, all right? If conditions aren't good, the road is wet, it's dark, and so, then you drop your speed according to those conditions. So persons get frustrated and they start to do what I call dumb driving, where they start to try and overtake round corners and overtake a double solid line. And then they didn't see that motorcyclist suddenly appear from the sky or something. And as you know, Murphy's Law, again.
Yes.
So it's just do the right thing. Be patient. You know, you have tourists on the island as well. They're not familiar, so they're taking their time to read the signs. And it just requires a more teamwork approach.
When it comes to parking.
Right. So let me get something clear to everybody here. Once you cause a vehicle to stand on the roadway, the violation of parking has been committed. The law doesn't say it if you're in the vehicle, if the vehicle's in park, if the engine is on. The law doesn't speak to that. Is the vehicle stopped and stationary on the roadway? Yes. Well, at that point, according to the Road Traffic Act, you are parked, ma'am. Okay? Can I see your driver's permit and insurance? So you know, pulling off now. Good. However, you have some defenses under the law. And this is important to know as citizens, right? If you're loading or unloading a vehicle, it does not, you have a defense.
So if you're a business owner.
Business owner, you're offloading, all right? Now, that don't mean you're offloading and you park up there and we had to wait for you to bring down a whole set of goods, right? So if you're loading or unloading, it has to be in the act of. If passengers are exiting or entering the vehicle, okay, that's not park. I mean, you have to stop. You can't just roll them out onto the road, right? Also, if the vehicle's mechanically defect, there's a mechanical defect. If there's a fuel or for fuel reason, it just shut down so the car cannot move. And also, if under instructions from a police officer or traffic sign for the vehicle to remain where it is, or traffic light. So, countless times we have people arguing, but officer, look at it and drive. Doesn't matter what gear and the law doesn't, the vehicle is standing on the road. Yeah?
How do you know where you are able to legally stop or park on the side of the road?
Good question, right? So that's why signage is so important and communication. What persons, a lot of people don't realize is that there might not be a sign in front of you, but there's written on the ground, no parking. And that no parking line is also a sign under law. Yeah? So you really have to pay attention to it. For example, on Main Road, a lot of people don't read the Road Traffic Act. So, for example, there'll be, let's just say, no parking along the North Coast Road from X to Y. Good. But there are no signs. Why? Because it's clear under the law. No signs on the North Coast Road. So once you park on it, you commit the offense. There's no need for a sign, right? So really and truly, persons should exercise some good judgment. You know, check and see if you're obstructing traffic. If a truck parks up there and blocks up the whole, where's the traffic going to pass? And to me, one of the biggest problems is people not being considerate to other people.
Oh yes, that's
you know?
a major concern.
And so,
And I mean, because people park on the corners.
Yep.
I mean, I see some people parking in some strange places, and I'm like, do you not realize that you're making it so difficult for people to pass by you? And then it's a potential for an accident because you're obstructing the view of the other person on the road.
But then when we show up now, and we start to get, then everybody surrounds us. Oh, they're too wicked. Run down bandit. People shooting people, and you giving man ticket. So it's a tough balance all the time, you know. But traffic management is also one of the areas where we intercept criminals, just through basic checks, you know. So when you see us out there, just understand, yes, you see us doing traffic stuff, but it also ties into the anti-crime plan.
Now, in a situation of Tobago, where you know, we have so many homes on the sides of the roads. I mean, we're in some crazy places, up hills and things like that. So the only place to park is on the roadway.
Sure.
How will you guys treat with that sort of thing?
Well, again, if your home is in a no parking zone, then you'd have a problem. You'd somehow have to communicate with the divisional police or senior superintendent Jackman and find out. But that's very rare, those occasions. Not impossible, but very rare.
Okay.
For example, in Trinidad, there are people's houses are off the bus route. You know, so how we enforce that is they have to communicate with the Ministry of Works for some sort of exemption. But it is a tough balance.
Now, and we're getting ready to wrap, but how do people get more information about what are traffic offenses and what are not?
Sure, if you go to drivingtt.com, because everybody's online now, it's amazing. Everybody has social media for all the wrong things, all right? But they want you to get all the information there for you. You can't seem to find our website. But drivingtt.com, Ministry of Works has our website where it has all the traffic violations, the amount of points, the amount of fines. Always remember, if you do get a traffic ticket or fixed penalty notice, you have 15 days to contest it. If you do not contest it in that 15 days, you lose the opportunity to bring the matter before the court.
I think we need to repeat that. I mean, there is that opportunity. So despite the fact that you might guess a ticket, there's an opportunity for you to get your way out of the ticket.
Well, yeah, exactly. So nobody's removed that constitutional right to say that law enforcement was not fair.
Yes.
So on the back of your ticket, it has all the instructions. You go to the judiciary website, you click on file a notice, you put in the details on that ticket, and you choose your date. It will generate the date, sorry. Yes. And everything is virtual. You don't have to go to court anymore. Everything's on your phone. Yeah, so the information is there.
All right, so viewers, so there you have it. How long are the licensed officers
We're going to be here a while, ma'am. All right, so, and we will be across the country, right? So
yes,
have your documents in a gear because we will be out there, okay? And just do the right thing and we'll be good to go.
All right, viewers, so there you have it. So, you know, if you want more information, go online, check out the ministry's website and so on, and make sure that you educate yourself so that you can avoid those tickets, because some of those ticket offenses that could be for some very minor things that you may not be paying attention to. So just have a perusal of that information is there so that you can avoid, you know, giving the government your money. All right, thank you so much, Sergeant Batson, for being on with us and sharing us with that information. And viewers, we have I think, well, we are at the end of the program now. So thank you for viewing and being with us. I hope you have a safe and wonderful weekend. Yes, be mindful on the roads because the officers are out there. So see you on Monday.
Wake up and hear me neighbor, 60,000 people strong.